Hi everyone, welcome to Mel's Go Slow Crochet. Welcome back if you're joining us again, or welcome if it's your first time. If you haven't been to this channel before, it's pretty chill. It's just sort of a relaxed chat about all things crochet. I pretty much set up the channel just so that I would have a captive audience to talk crochet with, because you know, no one outside of this room was really interested in what I had to say, and so it's just basically chit chat and a place where I share what I'm working on, current projects, what I've finished, that sort of thing. So welcome, I hope you enjoy your stay. So I've got a reveal, because for those who have joined us before, you might remember that I've only been knitting for about a month, and the first project that I was working on for a class that I'm doing has been fingerless mittens. So I have finished one of the fingerless mittens and I'm wearing it, and there it is. Now don't look too closely, particularly won't be showing you the stitching together because that's a real mess, but here we go. They didn't turn out too badly, and the main thing is they're functional. So this is one finished fingerless mitten, which I'm super happy about. It's my first knitting project done. Well, half done. And the other mitten is this far along. So all I've got left is the cuff at the top and then sewing them together. Now my next knitting class is in a few days' time. So we will be apparently moving on to the Sophie scarf so that we learn how to do increases and decreases. If you haven't seen the Sophie scarf before, it's a bit of a viral scarf in the knitting world, I'm told. I have seen some images of it. It's it looks like it's like a tapered scarf, so it's thick in the middle and then tapers either end, and you sort of knot it up at the front. Sorry for hitting the microphone there. I don't know if I'll ever wear it, but I am looking forward to learning how to knit it. So yeah, that will be in a few days' time, and I'm really pleased that I'll have finished both mittens by then so that I can actually like start wearing them, because it's still pretty cold here in South Australia and my hands have been freezing. But I'm just so wrapped that I managed to do that. Knitting was completely new to me. I'd never picked up needles before. It was all completely new. And look, I'm not going to lie, I know that's a very basic project for people who are knitters, because it's literally just the stockinette stitch and a bit of a bit of ribbing and sewing together. So it's not even like I did anything in the round. So I get that it's super simple, but I'm so wrapped that I was able to do that. And I did, you know, for those who have been watching, there was a particularly bad incident that happened last week when I'd almost finished it. So I pushed through, but I did try making that particular mitten. I think I restarted it about 8 times all up. Thankfully, the second one in the pair, I haven't had to restart. But now that I've said that, oh, why did I jinx it? Because I've only got about 12 rows to go of the ribbing. So it'll get done. It'll get done in the next few days and get sewn together, and I'll be able to wear them both. So next week I'll be able to show you both of my hands with the mittens on. That will be exciting. Let's see, what else have I been working on? So if you were here last week, you would have seen that I had progressed a scarf I'm making for myself, just using like this beautiful cashmere wool. And the only reason I'm doing it is because the scarf I've got at the moment is very scratchy, and I wanted something soft that I would look forward to wearing. And so why not treat myself, yeah? So look, I've used up both of the skeins of yarn that I had. That's the last bit of it there, and it's not quite long enough, and I wanted a bit longer, so I have ordered another hank of yarn, which hopefully will arrive in the next few days. It's coming from Melbourne, and because this particular woolen mill that made this yarn, they don't do dye lots. They use the natural colours from the alpacas. So I managed to get the same like batch of this colour. So I'm hoping it'll just sort of blend in without being noticeably different. But I'm really looking forward to that arriving so I can finish this scarf and still wear it while it's still so cold outside. It's so soft. I wish you could feel it. In fact, when I start wearing it, I might insist that people just touch it, because just touch it, it's so soft. Anyway, so that's that one. This has been so nice to sit of an evening just watching my TV shows or YouTube channels or whatever, and just do this mindlessly, because it's not something where I need to count stitches or anything. It's a lovely Suzette stitch, which is, I don't know if you've ever done the Suzette stitch. If you're a crocheter, have a look at it. It's really easy. It is definitely a beginner stitch. It looks beautiful and textured, but it's so simple. It's just a single crochet and a double crochet in the same stitch, and then skip a stitch and do the next one. And so it builds up really quickly, and it's beautiful texture, and I just really love the look of it, and it gives a bit of warmth to the scarf because it's not gappy. And the final thing I've been working on, because I finished, oh sorry for shaking the camera, it's all happening here. I finished what I was able to do with that scarf a few days ago, while I wait for the next bundle of yarn to arrive. So I was like, oh well, what else can I crochet that's mindless? And I thought, I've got to get back to my last historical temperature blanket. So if you've seen before, if you haven't, I'm just going to rehash it. Basically, I am doing a temperature blanket for 2024, which was a significant year in our family, so that's why I chose it. And it's weird because it's the third temperature blanket I'm making, but it was the first one I planned when I first started this whole thing. And so I just went to Spotlight and bought really cheap acrylic marble yarn. And I've gone for like these really bright colours. So it's a bit of a rainbow. But basically the yarn has not been nice to work with because it's just like, there's nothing wrong with acrylic. I'm not an acrylic snob because I love some acrylic yarns. But this marble yarn from Spotlight is really, it just doesn't feel nice on the skin. And so although it was the first temperature blanket I planned, it's the last one I'm making. And I'm using the same as I've done for previous temperature blankets, the same style, which is the 2 rounds of a granny square for each day, and then joined together with the continuous join as you go using a neutral colour. And so this is what I've got so far. And my plan for this was to do 1 square a day for this year, and just like, because 1 square a day only takes about 5 minutes. Excuse me. And so yeah, so I was like, oh, I can do that in amongst other projects. But then because I got so fixated on some other things I was working on and was really keen to finish them, even though 1 square per day wasn't getting done. So I've got about 4 months to catch up on. We are in July, middle of July now, and I'm only done up to the middle of March on this temperature blanket. So I've got about 4 months to catch up on, and then hopefully I can resume the 1 square a day while I move on to other things. And that's been kind of it. I'm still planning to do the burrow blanket, which I have shown on this channel previously, and I had started joining a bunch of granny squares together. I haven't progressed any of that. The main reason is it requires a fair bit of focus and extra light and that sort of stuff, so I can see what I'm doing. And because I've been so hyper focused on getting these mittens finished, and it's been, you know, a month of knitting, I haven't gotten back to that one, and the squares are all still in their bags, just waiting to be joined, staring at me each night as I go to bed because they're beside my bed. I will have to get back to that one, I think, maybe once this other scarf is done, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I've still got 2 months of knitting classes, and then we will be set free to do our own projects. So the next month, I don't know how difficult the Sophie scarf's going to be. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. It's been nice just doing like a square of different stitches that I could just sew together. I don't know how the increases and decreases are going to look. I don't know how my edges are going to look. I don't like the way my edges are looking at the moment. I don't know. And then after that, for the final month, we are going to be working on a cowl, so knitting in the round. And again, I don't know. I don't really like wearing cowls, so I don't think I'll ever wear it. So maybe it doesn't matter if it's a disaster. But it means that my next few months are really focused on getting knitting projects finished, and I'd like to do that. So I might have to add them to my finished objects for the year, even though I've only been counting crochet. Yeah, because my crochet finished objects are really suffering this year because it's a lot of blankets and they take a long time. So we'll see how things go. And I do still need to get back to my husband's beanie, which I haven't even touched since the last time I talked about it, about 3 weeks ago. I think was the last time I spoke about it. So yeah, but progress is being made in other areas. I don't think he's going to get that for this winter. We do have another month and a half of winter left, but I think he might just have to suffer through this year. Lucky he runs hot as it is. He's one of those people that wears shorts in winter. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it from me this week. I know these are just running short. I don't have a lot to say. I need to, and this time I don't have any padding out with any B-roll at all. It's just been a week. I have done no extra filming. Very little prep for today, but I really wanted to get a video out there and show off my glove. So hopefully next week there'll be a little bit more, hopefully a bit more to report about my second day of the knitting course. I'll see how things go. I might try and film a bit there, but I don't know. I feel a bit funny doing that. Yeah, so anyway, like the video if you like it. Leave a comment on what you've been working on if you like. I'd love to hear from you. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It's pretty much just like a chat, have a cup of tea, whatever. I had my coffee literally just before I came in here. Otherwise I was going to bring it in, but I really needed that coffee. So yes, I hope to see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.